Hey guys, Chris Velasco with Engadget. I've got something really cool to show you today. This is the new HTC 10. And if you don't know my backstory, I've loved HTC phones for a long time, and it's been a little frustrating to see them kind of lose the path. So the M8 was great, M9 slightly less so, and the A9 really not for me. In a lot of ways, the HTC 10 has been the phone I've been waiting for them to make for years because it takes the polish and the power that I know that they're capable of and squeezes it into, I think, a pretty beautiful package. So let's take a quick tour. As you can see, very slim, really pronounced chamfer on the back, and then another one here on the side to give it sort of a gem-like feel, but not as sharp as what you might have experienced with the HTC One M9. USB Type-C on the bottom here, fingerprint scanner / home button right here, and then as you'll notice, we've got some space next to that home button, so we do have a capacitive touch button. They wanted to keep as much of that screen real estate on screen for your apps and for your content as possible, so we're back to discrete buttons. 5 megapixel camera up top, and on the back, a 12 ultra pixel camera. So it's not exactly the ultra pixel camera you might have known in the past. They've basically taken an existing sensor, I believe. We're gonna dig into this in our full review. It does have a larger pixel size, so it does capture more light, and in our really short-term testing, it does seem to do a really good job. It's far and away better than what we got in the A9, and I think, right off the cuff, one of the best Android cameras out there, but again, we'll dig into that a bit more. Taking a look inside, we do have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820. It's a quad-core chipset with 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now, this is a configuration we've seen in a few smartphones already. I think most recently the LG G5, but the fit and finish here kind of blows the G5 out of the water, whereas that felt a little half-baked. This is a remarkably polished, well put together machine. HTC's boom sound has been the stuff of legend as far as smartphone speakers go, but we've got something a little different this year. HTC is really dialing in on audio performance, but they've gotten rid of these stereo speakers, so it's all mono sound. You've got a speaker up here and the speaker down in the bottom as well. They've done sort of an iPad Pro style trick, so high frequency and mid sort of route through the top. Lower frequencies come through the bottom, so you get a really balanced soundstage, but you lack this sort of pull yourself in kind of feel that you get with the stereo speakers like in the old days. I miss it, but I mean, this is actually still really good. Right up front, we do have a 5.2-inch Super LCD5 display, weighs in at 5.2 inches, and it is a Quad HD panel, so it's incredibly crisp and bright. I don't know if you can get in that close, but the colors, I think, are fantastic. They're not as overblown as you can get sometimes on the Galaxy S7, but really nicely saturated and really beautiful screen so far. So this whole thing does feel a little less like your standard HTC Sense, even though some of the old favorites are still here. So we've got Blinkfeed. If we slide over to the left, that gives you your social updates, news stories, things of that nature, stuff to kind of keep you entertained while you're just sort of hanging out. And then looking through the interface, it does feel incredibly fast. HTC has done a really good job of dialing back on the cruft that is involved here. So it feels much more like stock Android Marshmallow, which is, by the way, what this thing runs. I don't think I've enjoyed using an HTC phone as much as I've used this. Granted, I've only used it for a few days, but this is something to look out for. We're gonna take a deeper look in time for our full review. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I'm Chris Velasco. This is the HTC 10. Stay tuned for more. Up front, we do also have a 5.2-inch I almost said Super LSD.